Hey guys, so there is only like a little over an hour before ThrillerAthon starts, and I'm participating, hence the vlog, obviously. And if you saw my Instagram post, you would know I don't have a very extensive TBR. There's like a whole challenge thing that you can do, but I'm only trying to make it through 3 books. The first book that I want to read is The Return by Rachel Harrison. I got this arc from Liberty Hardy. She was hosting a giveaway and I was one of the winners, and so I'm really excited to read this, mostly also because Liberty said she couldn't sleep after this. It's not horror, but it's like a really intense thriller, so I want to know if I can sleep after this because my imagination's pretty active, so I want to see how well I do with this. And then I want to read Sadie by Courtney Summers. I have owned this for a little while and I really want to read it because everyone's raving about this, and it's also one of Lala's favorite books from Books and Lala, and I trust her reading taste when it comes to thrillers, so I want to read that. And lastly, I want to read Truly Devious because I don't read a lot of YA mysteries. I say that there are 2 YA mysteries on my TBR. I don't read a lot of them, but I've heard really good things about this one, so yeah. Now the question is, will I be starting at midnight when ThrillerAthon starts for me? Will I be awake? Probably. Will I be reading? Probably not. Will I be asleep? Well, probably trying to go to bed, at least. I might try to read a chapter of The Return before I go to bed, but I don't really know. I do, like, this readathon goes for several days, so I do have quite a bit of time to do all my reading for that, and I don't have a lot going on over the next week, I don't think. Not as far. That's a lie. I do have some important stuff that's due on Monday. But other than that, I don't really have a ton of stuff going on, so I should be able to do a little bit of reading. And honestly, my goal is to get through 1 book and start another. 3 books is ambitious for me because it's been a while since I've read 3 books in a week that haven't been for some kind of class assignment. Really, I just want to read 1 book and then start another. And if I can do that, this week will be a success for me. Heck, if I just finish 1 book, this will be a success for me. So yeah, I guess I'll update you guys when I actually read. So it's currently 3 p.m. Haven't read. No. Went to bed last night a little past midnight, and then woke up this morning, went to the gym. I don't know why I forgot about that. Woke up this morning, went to the gym with my roommate, and then we went grocery shopping, and then we had to get lunch, come back to the apartment, and my other roommate bought a couch, so we had to do some furniture moving. So that was interesting. There was a point at which I couldn't help because I'm not tall enough to help. Story of my life. And so I'm going to read for a little bit. I'm not actually sure what the story is about. Let's see. So there are 2 best friends, Julie and Elise. Julie disappears and Elise believes that Julie will come back, and 2 years to the day that Julie disappears, she does come back. And along with 2 other college friends that they have, they decide to reunite at a remote inn, because that's a good idea, do that. And they reunite, and Julie's not who Elise remembers, and she thinks something's wrong, doesn't know who she is or what she is. So I'm guessing there's some kind of supernatural element to this, probably. I really don't know much about this book. I just know that Liberty Hardy really loved it, and I know that Berkeley published it, so we're going to read this, and we'll see what I think. And I've never done a reading montage before, but let's try it. So I'm downstairs now, and I have made myself dinner. I read the first chapter of this. It took me a while because I got really tired, and then I laid down for a little bit. But I read the first chapter. So far, it's okay. I don't know. I feel like all the main characters are trying too hard to be something, but I'm not sure what that is. So I'm going to eat my dinner, and I have like 5 minutes left in an episode of Dynasty, so I'm going to finish that. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to pick this up and read it and hopefully get a couple more chapters in before tomorrow, because I have a bunch of things to do tomorrow. So we'll see what I can get done with this, because I am interested in it. I just don't know how I feel about it yet. Also, this comes out March 24th, so I'm glad I get to read it now, because I didn't actually remember when it was coming out, so I'm glad I'm reading it before the release, because then I can give you guys my full thoughts on whether or not you should get this. So it's day 2, and I realized I hadn't vlogged yet today. I read a little bit while I was reading lunch. Yes, I read my lunch. I read while eating lunch, and I think I got in like 60 pages. Now that I'm into the book a little more, it's easier to read. The first chapter took me a while to get into, also because I just wasn't used to the characters. And having looked it up a little more, it actually is horror. And so far, I think I know what the twist is gonna be, or maybe I'm just making stuff up, but I feel like I know what it's gonna be. So I don't know how scared I'm gonna be about it right now. I mean, like, I'm 100-ish pages in, and so far I don't feel like I'm too scared, but I've also been mostly reading it during the day. So we'll see if that changes. Depending on how much homework I get done today and how much free time I have tomorrow, I might be able to finish it, which will be really good. I don't think it's going to be a 5-star read though, because I personally find the main character really annoying. She's very negative and self-deprecating, but in a way that's like she doesn't want to change, and that bothers me. It's also like, I don't know, there's something about the way she's incredibly needy and passive aggressive with her friends that I just personally don't appreciate, mostly just because I can't really stand passive aggressiveness. So I think that's my main problem with the book right now. Everything else seems interesting. Uh, like, I do think, because this is an arc, I do think the characters could be a little more fleshed out. I think that we could use less of some of the internal monologue, but it is also interesting and moving the plot forward at this point. We'll see how I feel about it as things progress, and hopefully I actually remember to vlog as the week goes on. I might vlog on campus a little bit as I walk class to class. I don't know, people talk on their phones all the time. Maybe no one will notice if I'm vlogging, but then again, people who talk on their phones are usually doing it vertically, not horizontally, so I don't know. Do I really care? I'm a senior. I feel like the answer is no, but also yes at the same time. We'll see what I end up doing. So it's pretty late on day 3, and I want to go to bed, but I forgot what I was saying. Oh, I haven't really read anything of this today, but I'm gonna read, like, maybe a chapter, see if it actually starts getting scary. I just kind of want to go to bed. I'll update you guys tomorrow. I said I was gonna read today. What actually happened was I worked, and then I watched P.S. I Still Love You with my roommates. I don't know why I keep putting this book on my face. I'm gonna go read now. So, it's really cold, and I'm walking to meet my roommate because we're finally leaving campus. I finished the book today, and the ending was not what I thought it was going to be. Honestly, I was kind of let down. It wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. Granted, I did have to turn on the light in the office, but at the same time, I was kind of hoping for something different, something more. And so, I don't know, I'm going to start Sadie after this, and hopefully I like that better. But The Return is like a 3.5 out of 5 stars ish. I don't know, I thought it was going to be a 4-star book, but it's just the longer I sit with it, the lower it goes for me. Oh, I hope I put it in my backpack. I think I did. But yeah, I will update you guys when I start my next book. So this has basically nothing to do with the readathon, and I'm holding this at a weird angle because I'm walking to the post office right now, because this is kind of a bit of a big moment for me. I have in my hand a package, and it is my application for OPT. which is the visa I will hopefully get to be able to work in the US after graduation. If I don't get this, I can't work after graduation. The first day we could apply for OPT was the 17th, which was Monday. It's now Thursday the 20th, and I am mailing this out, and it's kind of scary. I don't know how much of this is going to make it into the actual readathon vlog, but I also wanted to have this because I wanted to put this together and kind of document that experience of everything. Mailing this out is a huge moment. So I'm going to go do that now. So it is like 11-ish p.m. It's 11:35 p.m. on Friday night. I haven't read anything since I finished The Return on Wednesday. I was gonna start reading this yesterday. I didn't. You probably saw from the other clip that I did something more important. I applied for my visa to stay here after graduation. And then I just didn't read because I had stuff going on in the evening, and why didn't I read? Night class. That's why I didn't read. I had night class. And then today was just a really busy day, and I took a nap after I got home. Then I ate dinner, and then I did some homework, and then I spent like 2 hours on TikTok. So, did not read this. Came up with a bunch of really good TikTok ideas though. So, if I abandon my YouTube career, it's because I'm attempting to make a TikTok career that will probably never happen anyways. Do I want to read this? Yes. Am I going to be able to read this? Who knows? Because I have stuff going on tomorrow too. I keep opening this like I'm reading it. I'm not. I have stuff going on tomorrow too. And I also have a bunch of stuff to do for the magazine, which is my job. And I have things to do for my internship. And I don't know if I'm going to read this. My goal was to read and start a book. So technically, if I read the first page of this, I will have completed that goal. But I really just want to read this and not do my work. At some point, I will make a video explaining me juggling my work schedule because I am a full-time student, I have 2 jobs, and I live off campus. But there are things about my jobs that are not, I guess, like some other jobs. I don't even know what I'm trying to explain. All this to say, I will try to read, I don't know, maybe the first chapter of this tonight. I also just really want to go to bed because I'm really tired. I think I'm actually just going to go to bed. But I'm going to start this tomorrow, and I will let you know when I start this. Because I really want to read this. I already know it's probably going to be a favorite of the year. Like, I have never met anyone who didn't like this book. I'm going to read it. I feel like more often than not I'm sitting in this chair in my room. I actually have some time today. I'm making some time today because it's the last day of the readathon. And I'm going to actually start reading Sadie. I just really want to start this. Also, look at how beautiful her hair is. I want my hair to look like that. Like, that is ultimately what I would like to achieve with my hair. I don't think I could ever do that. But anyways, I have some time, and I'm going to eat my breakfast sandwiches, and by breakfast I mean I literally put Nutella on sandwiches, or I put Nutella on bread, and I'm eating that for breakfast. Super healthy, I know. And I'm gonna read some of this, so I guess we can set up for a reading montage. So I've been reading Sadie for about 15-ish minutes, maybe a little longer. It's really good so far. I also love, I never knew this before, but there's like a switchblade on the cover, and I really like that. In general, this book is just really pretty, and I'm really enjoying it. So I will hopefully be able to read more of this. I love that half of this is in podcast format because I love true crime podcasts. And the story is really intriguing. If you don't know what the story about, it's about a young girl who is dead and her sister goes to find out who killed her. And it's told through 2 points of view. One is through a podcast as they're recounting this process of trying to find the older sister who is now on this journey to find her sister's killer. And then the sister who's trying to find the killer. That was a terrible explanation. Sadie is trying to find her sister's killer, and that's one of the points of view, and the other point of view is the podcast that's trying to figure out why Sadie disappeared. I will say 42 pages in, there are already trigger warnings, and if that makes you uncomfortable, I would not recommend picking this up. This just sounds like it's going to be a very gritty book, and if you have issues with stuff like bullying, violence, drugs, abuse, or rape, you probably shouldn't pick this up because the book is very... It's not graphic, but it is very well understood that these things are an issue for the characters and for what's going on in the story. Now comes the part where I really just want to read the book and I don't want to do my work, but I have to at least do some of it, and then I can reward myself by finishing this, and I have 11 hours before the readathon ends, so maybe I can get to like... I feel like the halfway point will be ambitious, but it's not a super big book. Like I read that much here in like 15-ish minutes, and so I feel like getting to the halfway point about there probably shouldn't take me very long. Yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Now I really want to take photos of this just because I love that Switchblade, so maybe I'll do that too. So it is Tuesday. The readathon was officially over on Sunday night at midnight, so obviously I did not read 3 books. I did read all of The Return, which was like, 296 pages, and I read the first, I want to say like 50 pages, 42 pages of Sadie, so that's like 330-ish pages, which I think is pretty good. All things considered, I was definitely a lot more reading heavy in the beginning of the week than I was in the second half of the week, but that's also just because the way things with classes and work piled up, it just wasn't really feasible for me to read as much the second half of the week. And then instead of reading during the weekend, I did other stuff. Clearly I have great priorities. I mean, yes, I do have good priorities because some of that was work, but, you know, kind of sad that I didn't get to read more. My final rating for The Return, I think, was a 3.5 stars. I was waiting for it to really scare me, and it didn't. Maybe it's because I wasn't reading it at night. I mean, I did read it a couple nights, but like it wasn't enough to scare me. And I was reading it in my office space on campus, and like someone walked by and I kind of jumped a couple times. But like other than that, it wasn't scary, and I am not scared in the aftermath of reading it. I kind of had an idea of what was going on and what the reveal would be. I was wrong, but I guessed something really similar. I'm not sure if that's just because I'm familiar with a variety of supernatural creatures, but I just wasn't too horrified. I just felt like the end was really rushed and it didn't make enough sense to me, but also this is an arc, so like this is obviously not the final version, this is an advanced version, so I don't know what the final version will look like. I don't think I'm gonna pick up the final one just because I feel like it probably won't change that much unless the ending changes a lot, or if the pacing improves, or if the reveal is different, or I don't know, if just something about the end changes. So as much as I was excited for this, I was kind of let down. I do think it's worth picking up if you're not super into horror. Not that I really have anything to compare it to. But moving on, Sadie. I'm really, really enjoying Sadie. I already know it's probably going to be one of my favorites of the year, just because I love true crime podcasts, and this is half in the format of a true crime podcast, and the other half is told from Sadie's perspective. And even though I haven't read a ton of it, obviously only 42 pages, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really excited to see where the story goes. So basically, that's to say that I'm really gonna love this, and I really want to continue reading this. I was gonna continue reading this last night, and I was just really tired, didn't end up doing that. I was planning to read it this morning, and then I may or may not have just watched like 3 episodes of a TV show with my roommate instead. This will get read, and this is also so pretty. I want to keep reading this and find out, and yeah, I'm really happy with what I read because it's more than I've read in a while, just for fun. I'm still trying to figure out a balance between school and work and like personal life stuff, so making the time to read has not been a priority of mine unless it's for class. But I really do want to get back into that, and I think this book will help me get back into that. All that to say, I read a little over 300 pages this week. Could have read more, definitely, but I'm happy with how much I read. And that is all that I have for this video. If you want to know what I'm reading, you can follow me on Instagram and Goodreads. I don't really post much on Twitter about what I'm reading. Sometimes I think I'm funny on Twitter, so if you want to see me pretending or trying to be funny, you can follow me there too. But Instagram and Goodreads are mostly where I update my reading. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.